Hey YouTube, Kimberzelik here. This would be, I just bought a Chinese mini lathe, Part 5, combined with project. What we're going to do is we're going to drill a hole into this brass slug 1.5 inches deep, and we're going to bore it out to approximately 476 thousandths of an inch. So we're starting with a 3/8 inch drill, which is around 307 thousandths. And then we will attach our boring bar and continue to widen that hole. Now, as far as the project goes, we want to widen that hole where we can get a suction fit. I'm not sure if that's a real term or not, with this piece here, which is 0.3721 approximately. We'll confirm that later. So let's go ahead and get started and drilling this out to 1.5 inches. I have my quill set at 0. So we will advance that 1.5 inches. So let's get started. Okay. I'm going to kind of play around with the speeds here. We're about 450 RPMs now. Let's see how that behaves. I shouldn't need to use any lubrication. I think that speed is probably fine. Now we're starting to grab with okay, there's a 1/2 inch coming up on. I've really been putting this off for a few weeks for fear of failure. You know, one thing also, when I first got the lathe, there were a few things that were intimidating. One was the gear train, rearranging the gear train to do threading, and I'm going to go ahead and back that out, clean that out a little bit. Chips didn't seem to be clearing out fine, but adjusting and changing the gears, and all I gotta say about that is just do it. We'll do a video in the very near future on those gears. We're at 1 inch now. Well, I should be able to square out the bottom of that hole with the boring bar. Coming up on 1 1/4. Yeah, you just got to take the gears off. You know, take a picture if you have to. Take them off, put them back on. We'll do a video on that. There's a 1/4 inch to go. Let's see if we have anything in there. We'll back that out. Had a lot of trouble, was intimidated with the parting, and that amounted to having the work square, having the tool square, using adequate lubrication. Okay, I think we're coming up on 1.5. Let me confirm that. Okay. So we'll pull our drill out. Okay. Last video we talked about different measuring tools, and one thing that I left out, which is probably the one thing I use the most, is the caliber. They come in different flavors. There's a dial caliber. There's electronic caliber. And I imagine, would the veneer caliber be the manual read? Okay, I want to actually go in there and check my depth of my bore. If I can find. So I'm going to run an Allen wrench in here and just get a rough measurement. Looks like I'm right about 1.5. We'll get a more accurate measurement here. Let me get this tailstock out of the way. So I'm going to back the tailstock off. And once again, you got the stubby drill, and anytime you can find any of these stubby drill bits, you want to grab them, especially if you're operating this mini lathe. So let's bring this back up in here. Okay, so to remove the chuck from the tailstock, you simply pull the quill back and the chuck will pop right out. So we're going to take the tailstock off, set it aside. You're going to bring carriage back, and we're going to put in the boring bar. Now, I have this centered from the last operation. But I'm not confident enough to go ahead with that. Let's go ahead and check the depth of this hole. So we got our digital caliber, and it has a function on the, you can measure the depth there. So go ahead and bring that back. Okay, we're at 149.7. So I think that's close enough to a 1/2 inch. We can go with that. Okay, well, when we come back in part 6, we will be boring this out to make a suction fit for this piece, just to prove I can do it. Please hit the like button. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Have a great day.